All right, hello and good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday. Glad you are all here. Glad to see you all. We are continuing our World of Warcraft chores. We are getting some of the PvP out of the way. It is just awful, just absolutely awful. This game's PvP is some of the worst PvP you'll ever see in a game. And granted, part of that is because the game is 20 years old and we have moved past a lot of these things, but like, so much of this game has so many problems, and PvP is definitely one of them. I don't know why I keep coming back. I really do not know why I keep coming back for the PvP. Like, I try every season, I try and push for like Gladiator and doing the hardcore PvP, but there's so much that's so unfun about it that sometimes I wonder why I do it. Good morning, Bubble. How is it going this morning? What are you up to? KFC is here. Good morning, KFC. Play Pokemon. Eventually. I've got to catch up in WoW. I got to get some stuff done for the season, and I'm hoping next week Star Wars Zero Company comes out, which is supposed to be like XCOM meets Star Wars, and even though I haven't played or seen Star Wars, that looks like an absolute blast. So that's the game that I'm hoping I'll stick with for a little while. We want to beat that one, and then after that, War Dogs the Shooter is coming out, and I am very, very hyped for that, and hoping that War Dogs sticks with me for a while. So those are the upcoming games I'm hoping to take part in. Jonathan's here. Good morning. I didn't even hear your kid get up. And once again, this is why I'm a hater of WoW PvP. I've got a whole team, and I'm just running here alone, just, you know, holding the objective, doing the game, and yet our entire team is standing here right in the middle of the map doing absolutely nothing. We love to see it. Love to see people who play PvP games to exactly ignore the entire objective and just stand in the middle and do nothing useful. Not that I'm salty about it, but it does like, I can never figure it out. I honestly, like, I'm trying not to be tilted here, but I'm trying to truly understand it. Like, why would you play a PvP game that has objectives for you to do just to not do the objectives? Right? Like, what's the point in playing the game if you're just not going to play the game? Right? Like, wouldn't you rather play any other game? I don't get it. I just don't understand why you would. I'm going to load up this game and I'm going to join a team effort, and then I'm not going to play with my team. Like, I don't understand the logic that goes into that thought process, like, at all. Like, does it happen in other things? Like, is it exclusive to video games, or like does it also happen, like, do people go to like basketball games? Do people sign up for, like, I'm going to do a pickup basketball game today, and I'm going to go and join a team, and then I'm just going to throw the ball out of bounds, and I'm going to spend the entire time running around in circles, and I'm not actually going to touch the ball the entire time? Like, does that happen? Do people, or is that like only in gaming do people decide, I'm going to sign up, but I'm not going to play the game at all? It's such a weird phenomenon to me, you know? Oh, well. Yeah, we're gonna lose this one. We're losing this match. My team is absolutely awful and doing absolutely nothing. So I'm trying, but there's nothing I can do when it's 3 versus 1 everywhere I'm going. Yeah, it seems like a pretty easy to understand concept, and yet, the overwhelming majority of people don't seem to grasp the concept in any way, shape, or form. All right, let's play defense for our guy here. Someone actually went and got the flag, so let's see if we can run some defense for him. Okay, you look like you're home free. Okay, you're doing pretty good. Okay.
This is too far away.
Let's get this guy out of the picture.
I do not have a target.
All right. We're coming together. We're doing something. Like I said, I'm not trying to be tilted. I wish I understood what was going through these people's minds. Oh, okay. There's a rogue.
I am out of range.
Hey. Okay, he's stunned. Okay, that helped. We barely got it there, but that sort of helped. What is that person? Their subtlety, that's why. That's the other problem that makes me so salty about this game. So I chose to go Outlaw Spec because I love Outlaw Spec. I like all the aesthetics of it. And Blizzard just said, well, you can play that spec, but it is the worst spec. So, you know, it's frustrating. We're like, well, you have 3 specs to choose from, but if you choose this one, you're absolutely wrong and you're going to be weaker than everyone else. Like, can't you made the game, fix it. Should I get Library, Aruna, or White Knuckle? Is White Knuckle the climbing game? I'm pretty sure, I'm like 80% sure I played a demo of White Knuckle, and I wasn't too impressed with that one. So, but I don't know what the other one is. I don't know what Ruin, Library... Oh, is Library Ruin, is that the one where, like, there's 1,000 books and they're all out of place, and you've got to go and put every book in its right place? Is that what that one is? I have seen quite a few games that have come out now that are in that genre of, oh look, the entire library is destroyed and your job is to now get the library back in order. And I think that is going to be the new hot genre of games. We're going to see a ton of games like that, and they're all going to be slopping awful. It's a PM game like Limbus Company. Okay. I have no idea then. Apparently I don't know either of the games. I logged on to Helldivers, read the dispatch, 99% sure the DSS is compromised. I've seen quite a few people talking about that the DSS is compromised. But I don't know why. I don't know why everyone's saying that. I just keep seeing things about it. Alright, let's slow this Death Knight. That rogue is right there. It's gonna be a 2v1, but I guess let's try. Yeah, no chance. No chance I can stop this guy 2 versus 1. Yeah, there's no hope. No hope this match. The book sorting game? Yeah, so the book sorting game is like, there's, I think it's like 5,000 or 10,000 books, and they all fall off their shelves, and they're all stacked in the middle. You've got to pick them up one by one, and then put them back in the right place. And it looks just awful. And like, I don't want to get on a high horse and be like, oh, well, waste of time, and some video games aren't a waste of time. I understand people enjoy what they enjoy, but that one truly feels like an absolute waste of time. Like, if you're just like Power Wash Simulator or any of those games where it's like, oh, mow the lawn simulator, like You could just go mow a lawn in real life. You could go do something else in real life. Like there's so much more you could be spending your time doing. That one just truly feels like it is an absolute waste of your time. This is the other thing I hate about the WoW PvP is like every 5 seconds you lose control of your character. You're getting stunned, you're getting put to sleep, you're getting charmed, you're getting stunned. Like, it's so unfun. And they even acknowledge, they say like one of the most unfun things in gaming is to lose control of your character, and then they give every character the ability to take away control of your character. I don't understand their logic behind that. Alright. We got that one. We protected one flag. We did it. Yeah, and I know everyone's like, oh, don't be a hater, don't yuck someone's yum. And I try not to be a hater, but also, like, you're really paying money and wasting your life to virtually sort books in an environment that does not matter in any way, shape, or form. Like, that truly feels like a waste of your God-given life. I feel the same thing about sport games like FIFA. I used to be on the same end. Like, I didn't understand why people would play FIFA, like, just go play it in real life. But I do understand, for the most part, like, being able to get together 20 people to play a game of football or soccer or whatever. I do understand that that's harder to do. But if you have the ability, definitely go and do that instead. But, like, yeah, I definitely don't understand why people choose to do Power Washer Simulator or things like that. Like, okay, I'm gonna be a hater here for a second. I'm gonna be a hater here for a second. There was a guy who was showing off his World of Warcraft achievement. In that he fished up one of the really rare fish in the game like 10,000 times. So he was talking about how he literally spent thousands of hours. We're talking tens of thousands of hours. We're talking years of his life. Literal years of his life to be the person who has the most fish in the game. And I for the life of me, I couldn't figure out, like, what are you talking about? That's not an achievement. That's not something to be proud of. That's sad. You wasted 10,000 hours of your life. We're talking literal years of your life wasted on that. Like, that's not something to be proud of. That's working out your, like, I hate that there was these bodybuilders that talked about that, like, every muscle is a muffin not eaten, every ab is a form of discipline, things like that. And, like, I don't want to sound like a bodybuilder, but at the same time, that literally is, like, that's a book unread, that's a talent untalented, that's 10,000 hours is so much time you could have spent on so many other things with your life. And, like, yeah, I've played a lot of World of Warcraft, but also, like, I've spent a lot of that time writing and becoming a better writer, and I'm using that to hopefully write a book. I'm trying to stick with it this time. I've spent that time spending time with my wife playing World of Warcraft together. Like, that wasn't to achieve sitting... Because here's the thing to put this in even more perspective. Let me show you exactly the perspective. This is fishing in World of Warcraft. Let me put it on screen so we can fully acknowledge. This is how fishing works in the game. So you stand by water, you click the fishing button, your bobber pops up, you wait 1 minute, you click the bobber, you catch the fish. That is fishing. He did that for 10,000 hours. Such a waste of life, such a waste of talent. And this, again, it goes back to the whole conversation. I know people get salty when I bring it up. I'm going to that you can't achieve anything in video games. The one of the main problems I will say in society, not the only problem, society has a lot of problems, but one of the biggest problems in society is young men who feel like they're achieving something in video games. Young men who feel like, oh, well, I did something impressive in a video game, so I've achieved something with my life. Video games are entertainment and nothing more. You cannot achieve anything in a video game, and you're lying to yourself if you think that your video game achievements matter in any way, shape, or form. And I know that's really harsh to hear, but people need to hear it. If only Stardew was that easy. I do want to. I saw a mod for Stardew Valley that I need to download called Palipper Town, which converts Stardew Valley into a Pokemon game, and you've got to go catch Pokemon to run your farm. I just found out about that, and that sounds like a lot of fun. So I will be playing Stardew Valley at some point to experience Stardew Valley Pokemon. It's more of a personal accomplishment. I wouldn't even call it that, honestly. Like, and I'm saying this, I hold a world record in World of Warcraft. Let me preface by saying I hold the world record in World of Warcraft for one of the races. Like, I'm not saying this to someone's like, oh, I'm such a hater because I can't achieve. I literally hold the world record. And that is not an achievement. That's not something I go and brag about. That's not something like, oh, I have this thing. It makes me so good. No, it's a video game. It's a form of entertainment. It holds no value in my real life or in my everyday life. Like it simply exists as a means for me to relax and unwind. It has no other value in my life. See, we need daggers to switch specs to be we need to play one more match, and then we'll be able to afford daggers, and we can swap our spec over to one of the ones that's actually good right now. Now it's the same thing with like being in the top 1% of video games. Like unless you're actually making that video game your job, that's a job. That's different. You know, a job is different. But for the vast majority of people, video games exist simply as a form of entertainment, and it is not something to take pride in. It's not something to brag about. And like, this is something, they used to make fun of it, right? They used to make fun of it in sitcoms and stuff when it's like, oh, look at this loser underachiever. Let's ask him what you do. And he'd be like, oh, I'm a 15th level paladin in World of Warcraft. And everyone would laugh, right? Because like that was so absurd that you would count that as any form of accomplishment that obviously you should be mocked for it, and that's just fallen out of the way. My brother threw a wooden block thingy at me for reprimanding him for saying the N-word. that tracks. Kids these days got no respect. No respect, I tells ya. Did he learn it from the internet though? Is that there are far too many kids that are learning far too many awful things from the internet. All right, we're waiting. Maybe we'll win one battleground today. We've had zero luck so far, but maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe. Also, Dex, are you here yet? We need to talk about yesterday, Dex. Because I was telling Dex about how good my Airsoft content has been doing lately, and that I want to make some more Airsoft content. And I sent him the replica I need to make my Airsoft content, and then he just cursed me out and disappeared. I'm trying to figure out like what the heck was that, Dex? Why? So I'm waiting for him to come and give me an explanation for why the events transpired as they did. We're waiting on pins and needles, Dex. think for once he's not here. He must actually have to be concentrating at work. Go figure, he actually has to do his job. Alright, we're doing this one again. Hopefully my team can figure it out. Let's see. Are we fighting the same team we did last time? Probably. So the one curse to playing early in the morning also is you get stuck against the same teams over and over and over again. Let's eat the giant pig. Have y'all also seen this controversy ongoing right now with KS, good morning. Grand Theft Auto 6, that apparently someone has a leaked version of the game and is threatening to leak said game. Would I consider 200k in a day as viral? I definitely think that 200k in a day would constitute viral, especially if it was all in one day. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. But the definition of viral is so, like, there are some people who are, I don't know if I'd call it out of touch, who are like, oh, unless you get at least 1 million views, no one's even seen it, right? And then there's other people where, like, hey, 1,000 people watch that video. Like, 1,000 people. If you think of playing 1,000 people in a room, you'd say that's too many people, right? So, who knows? Baseball? Is that you're saying that's where he learned it? That's another one. That's another thing I'll be a hater for. I do not understand why anyone enjoys baseball. Like, I do not understand baseball at all. Like, it's so boring. I do not understand anyone who's a baseball fan. Like, you've got 9 innings. It's slow. You constantly have people fighting. And, like, you've got the whole problem recently of now they have, like, that T-Mobile bat checker thing where they can dispute the umpire's calls, and now everyone sees, like, the umpires actually have no idea what they're doing and all their calls are horrendously bad. So you've got a sport where the vast majority of it is just in the hands of one power-tripping umpire on whether or not he likes you or dislikes you or wants your team to win or doesn't want your team to win. It's slow-paced. I don't get it. I don't get it. His friends for sure. It is amazing how having the wrong friends can change the trajectory of your entire life, right? Like, it is truly amazing to me how much having a good friend or having a bad friend can influence your high school experience, your middle school experience. All of that is so, like, up to other people, right? Like, the friends you make in high school, while high school may not matter, those friends you make can definitely make a huge difference. Made a looks maxing video. Alright, we got a couple flags back at base. That is good. That is good. We were actually doing something here.
I need to get closer.
Alright, let's stop this guy. He's being an absolute menace right now. Why are you clicking spells? Because I'm not trying hard. Because my teams all morning have been absolutely atrocious. So I'm not bothering to try hard on this. Why is everything about politics for people, or are they bots? That is, so there's an interesting theory about like the dead internet theory where it's just bots talking to bots talking to bots, right? So how much of them are bots? There's probably a good percentage of them that are bots. Probably a very good percentage of them that are bots. I'm sorry, Ben. I don't feel like trying hard and using keybinds and actually playing at 100% right now, because for the last 45 minutes that I've been playing, my teams have been absolutely awful. There's been no point in trying. But yeah, what's if the outcome is already set, right? If the outcome is already known that you're going to lose because your team is playing awfully, then what's the point in like sweating and trying hard, you know? Like, it's still gonna end in a loss. So what's the point in trying? See, I used a keybind right there. Boom, another keybind. Okay. Let's stop this mage. Okay. Ooh. Well, hello there, Death Knight. We can jump over to the Death Knight.
I need to get closer.
Plus, due to Blizzard's wonderful programming, the grappling hook often breaks. If you didn't know this, if you play a rogue, if you don't click the grappling hook, if you use keybinds for grappling hooks, it will sometimes break and just won't function. So you have to click for grappling hook to function, because it will break for no reason half the time. Also, this is just a casual battleground. I'm just here to farm up honor so that I can play the real game, because Blizzard insists, like, this is also a part of Blizzard's just absolutely terrible design, is in order to PvP, you have to first do PvP with no gear and get beaten by people who do have gear, so that you can afford to buy the gear so that you can actually play the game, which is just awful design. Like, the PvP gear should just be unlocked to start with, and everyone should be on an equal playing field. Like, it's such garbage that that you just have to casually get beaten for a couple matches before you can afford to buy gear to actually play the game. Like, some of the worst game design I've ever heard of. Like, League of Legends did that for a while too, and I think they finally learned their lesson on that and stopped insisting that in order to play the game you have to first level up to level 20 before you can even have a chance of playing the game. So I think they've fixed that, but I haven't played League of Legends in a long while either, so... Oh boy. We picked up the flag. Run. We're sprinting. We're sprinting. I think we lost him. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. No! No! There it is. Okay. We need our flags back. We need our flags back. There we go. Okay. Boom. We dropped off flags. See, Ben, we contributed. We did something good. We got one of the flags back, so... We helped our team officially. We're not a waste or a stain, as you have so lovingly put it. Yeah, 90% of the internet is bots. I would definitely agree with that. All right. Well, thanks for dropping by and being a casual hater for a little bit. You know, we always appreciate a little casual hating. Nothing wrong with that. We get that quite often. All right, let's get this guy to drop the flag. Let's catch up to him. No. All right. Get our flag back. Alright, we got our flag back. We're doing it. We're doing it. But see, KFC, this is not Chaos, not KFC. Chaos. This is what we were talking about last time, right? Just a few days you were talking about giving up because you weren't getting views, and then you go and make clickbait, controversial, low-tier content, and boom, now you've got engagement, right? That's the frustration of content creation. And my whole problem with it all is right there summed up is you can't make the content you want to make. You have to make the lowest tier content for the lowest tier kind of people, because that's what will actually get you views. And if you want any chance to ever be noticed, then you've got to play the game the exact way that other people want you to play. And that's frustrating, because then you'll also have people complaining that why is everyone on TikTok always trying to sell me things, and why is everything like this perfectly polished thing? I just want genuine, real content, right? Like I want a real person. I don't want influencers. Like, okay, you say that, but then all you ever do is consume content made by influencers, right? Like if people actually cared about the little guys and wanted authentic creators, then they would support them. But the fact of the matter is that's not what happens. Oh, it's okay. The guy was just being your average WoW player, right? Like, and he is right. Like, I am playing at the least efficiency, but again, that's because this is just a casual battleground at what, 5 a.m. Like, why am I going to try hard and sweat when I know the outcome is already stuck as is? Alright, that guy, get off me. Who's more insufferable, the left or the right? That is a tough question. Both sides have their insufferability, but I will say that I would much rather deal with a insufferable left-winger who's trying to make the better world place, as opposed to the insufferable right-wingers who are like, there was some sort of criminal case going on yesterday, so a bunch of right-wingers decided to stand outside the courtroom and talk about how we should abolish the right for women to vote. So, like, that's the difference. You've got the insufferable left who, yes, they say some dumb things and some frustrating things, 100%. Like, don't get me wrong, they say and do annoying things all the time, but when they're saying annoying things, it's just nonsense fairyland world. Whereas the right wing, when they're out there saying things, it's let's take away people's rights, let's deport people to other countries and sentence them to death, let's provide our police force with shock gloves so that they can shock minorities because they crossed over illegally, and I don't like that, right? Like that's the difference. When you've got a right winger, you've got people pushing horrible genocide. When you've got a left-winger, you've just got mildly annoying fantasy land that no one lives in. So, like, they're almost not comparable. They're both annoying, don't get me wrong. They're both annoying, but one is clearly worse than the other in all ways, shapes, and form. Like... Like, on one hand, you've got, for a while there, one of the big articles for about a year was this left-wing movement saying that, like, you need to ask your baby's consent to change their diaper. Like, you should never change your baby's diaper without first having a consent conversation with them. And, like, clearly, that is an insane, outlandish take that is not based in any way, shape, or form of reality, like, at all. That is possibly the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But again, on the right wing, you've got people calling for women to not be able to vote and for people to be sent to death camps, so they're not comparable at all. You're the only one who lives in Fantasyland. I like to think that I'm pretty grounded in reality. I try and have a pretty fair and balanced look at the world, but everything is filtered through biases, right? So like we all live in a version of reality. Version of reality that doesn't actually exist because it's filtered through the lens of our biases, and there's just inherently nothing we can do about that. There were literally people standing outside a courtroom yesterday saying to abolish the amendment that allows women to vote. Like that has happened so many times. Like that is very markedly. I could Google it. I could Google it right now, and I could guarantee you I could find either different websites, Reddit posts, or things for people calling for women to lose the right to vote. Like that is very clearly something that happens far too often. Let's get a new belt. Which belt? Haste. We're gonna go with mastery. Okay. We have gotten daggers, so now we can change our spec. It has been a while since I have played subtlety, so let me grab this really quick. Let's grab a guide on what people are doing for subtlety. Looks like people are fairly split on this. Let's just use this as like a basis. Let's try that. Okay. Oh boy, it's been a while since I've played subtlety. Let's play around a second before we join a battleground. It's been a while since I've played this spec. Let's see if I can remember how to play it. Okay, that's Death Shadow. The energy, though. Holy cow, I have no energy. I feel so energy starved. Move. I don't think... I haven't played this spec in a very, very long time. I usually don't play rogues. So, let's see. Got all that going. Black powder, that's my AoE move. That's an AoE move. Don't need that. That's my more powerful move. Shadow Strike Secret Technique. That's the one we want. It looks like maybe they simplified. Maybe they simplified this spec a little bit. There doesn't seem to be a whole bunch of buttons and abilities. It seems to be very simplified, which is nice, because subtlety was always a lot of buttons and a lot of necessities. So let's take a look at talents really quick. I feel like I know I'm missing my king. Really, this spec goes nothing for there. Skip that. That feels very strange, but okay. If that's what they say, you know, who am I to argue with? This person who I copied their stuff is the best right now in the world. So who am I to tell him how to play a rogue? Well, we'll give it a shot. We'll see how well that does. Only centrists are adequate. So here's the problem with the centrists, though, because there's a lot of centrists who use this very flawed way of thinking, where they'll say, well, both sides are bad, therefore I'm going to do absolutely nothing, right? And that's also a problem, where they'll say, well, this political group is calling for the death of all enemies, but this political group raised my taxes by 2%, and those are equally bad in my... Okay, no, those are not equally bad, right? So, like, we also have to be aware that centrists have their problems as well. So, playing the both sides are equally bad can be a very dangerous game as well. And I talked about this before, how, like, I didn't vote in the last election because both sides were evil, and I couldn't in good conscience vote, but I still have voted in other elections to try and make change for the better. So, like, the presidential election, unfortunately, both sides were so evil I could not vote for either. But in smaller elections, our local elections, I am trying to institute change where I can. I also, the last few nights, I've been having a hard time sleeping. And I think that caffeine sensitivity is creeping back up on me. So I think, unfortunately, it's time to take another break from caffeine for a while. It's a little while to just avoid caffeine. Give my body a little bit of a reset. See, these are all passive. Is it really these few buttons? Okay, well, off we go. We're gonna run to their side of the map, and we're gonna try and take their siege facilities and influence the match in that way. So we're gonna run over here to the quarry and try and take that. Yeah, a detox. I'm just here chilling. I can't really change anything realistically, so I'm gonna live how I want and be the best I can be. Take the people along with me. It is... I go back and forth on that, KFC. Like, realistically, there's not a lot of the world that I can change. So you are right. Like, we accept the things we can't change, but also, like, the mentality of we can't change anything, therefore just live how we can is a defeatist mindset, right? We should be trying to enact change and better the world where we can. But I also, again, understand that there is little that we actually can do. Why is my stuff broken? Everything went choppy and laggy for a second there. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't... Lagging terribly. What is going on here? 17 frames per second. I think World of Warcraft just died. Like, everything's got like a 3-second lag on it. What is going on here? 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. Yeah, that was like 4 or 5 seconds because I started counting. Like, that was like 5-second delay. There we go. Holy cow. That was terrible. Fix your game, Blizzard. Alright, so that should distract the enemy. They need to come down here and grab that in a few. There he is. Okay. We've got a victim. That is a paladin. Oh no, I just changed this spec. I'm not sure if I can 1v1 a paladin. Oh, his wings are up. Hey, let's let him... Let's give him a second. There's 3 people over here, so this is what a good rogue does. This right here. So I grabbed with one move. I have forced 3 people of their team to come over here and stare at my flag. So that's a win. That is huge contribution, right? That is 3 times the payoff right here. As soon as they capture it, they're all going to walk off, and I'm going to make them all come right back again. Or they'll just have 2 people sit here standing the entire time. And that's a healer. Like, that's a huge win for us. That healer had to refuse what he was doing to come over here and heal? Yes, please. Demo to hangar. Hangar's in... Okay, our hangar's in trouble. So we're gonna pretend like we're still here. We're gonna make them paranoid, and then we're gonna go peel off and help the other group up there. Leave that healer over there. Too many assignments. School system here is stressful as heck. No wonder there's so many school shootings by students lately going on. I'm gonna disagree with that, KFC. I don't think there's any amount of homework that anyone could give that would cause someone to become a school shooter. I think that is mental illness and other things. That has nothing to do with homework. That's a whole other can of worms. Welcome back, Benjamin. We're glad to have you come back and do some hating. I switched specs, so we can try hard a little bit more here now. Okay, we got our glaives up there. We've got our demos protected. Let's go. Let's go down here. See what needs protecting. I'm Irish, it can't be hating. I was just talking about Emmy. So we've been wanting to go to Italy forever, but also one of the places we want to go to is Italy, or to Ireland and Scotland. And we're talking about maybe going to Ireland and Scotland instead, because I'm worried when we go to Italy that that there's gonna be language barriers and like our phones will work and other things, right? So I'm worried about what that's gonna be like. So I'm a little, part of me is like, maybe we should just go to Ireland and Scotland first, since they speak the same language. It should be an easier time. So we're talking about maybe doing that. I don't know. All right, healer's in full force over here. This guy, let's disarm you. Okay, let's vanish. Back on the healer. Give the healer some regrets. Keep interrupting the healer. There, I didn't click a single button. I used keybinds the entire time. It's more so how they treat you. You aren't there to learn, you're there to follow orders. The bad reputation of school. If you fail to compete, you're kicked into regular sections. I mean, that's been the school system since they invented the track system, World War I to World War II, right? Again, that's not a new phenomena that's been ongoing. It's a lot of other factors that are factoring into the school climate of where it is. I also think that there's a lot of this is where like doomerism and having no hope is slowly destroying the world. And this idea of it's okay to just sit around and say, oh, the world's a bad place, it's never going to get better, so I'm not going to do anything productive. These kids are going into the world with no hope of ever owning a home or doing anything, and they're just sucking into the hate. And that is causing a lot of problems as well. Like, you gotta have some hope to look forward to. And that is where Catholicism comes in, Christianity comes in, is having the hope in Jesus Christ, having the hope for a better life, having the hope for all these other things is so important, because you see these kids who are like, well, nothing matters, therefore I'm just not going to try, and my whole world is going to be doom and gloom, and that's leading to depression and so many other problems that we're facing. And a big portion of it, I feel like, could be fixed if we would just stop focusing on this atheism, nothing matters, and focus on Christ matters, the world matters. Alright, let's stay on this healer. The more I'm on this healer, the less they're going to be able to do other things. So we're just going to keep them distracted. I'm just going to stay on them. If someone could help me kill this healer, that would be great. But I'm not hopeful that we are going to get any help with this healer. Well, actually, someone else stunned them. We're in it for this. Might be it. We might have a kill blow here. Hey, we did it. We took down a healer. Look at that. We worked together and took down a healer.
I need to get closer.
That's like hunting a whale. It is very hard. They take quite a lot. One thing about America is the same here. Protestants and Catholics, people feeding each side, stupid and pathetic. Y'all need to grow up. I mean, the Protestant and Catholic conflict in Ireland is pretty legendary, right? That's been an ongoing conflict for a very, 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 very long time. I mean, I have a simple solution to it. If the Protestants would stop protesting and just rejoin, the correct church, we could solve that problem pretty easy if they would just stop being wrong. But apparently that's not the right solution to say. Apparently that's not the solution I think it is. Because one of the great ironies of Protestantism is you'll hear a lot of Protestants who are like, that's a man-made church, that's a man-made church, and like, bro, we can literally source your church back to the man who founded it, Martin Luther, right? Like, you complain about man-made churches, and then literally follow a man-made church. Like, it's so obvious and so easy. My other favorite one when talking about Protestantism is the I only follow sola scriptura, and you just ask, okay, well, where is sola scriptura in the Bible? It's not in there. Why is every Catholic priest a pedo? Okay, I'm going to assume you're asking that in good faith. I'm not actually sure you're asking that in good faith, but assuming you are, so here's the facts of the matter: is that anytime you have any institution, whether it be the church, whether you have Boy Scouts, whether you have schools, any position that allows someone to have power over children inherently is going to attract people who are attracted to children, because they are going to seek out those positions where they are in an advantageous position over children. That is just the way that they work. So if you look at the actual statistics, you have more chance of being affected by schools or Boy Scouts or your or your own relative than you do a Catholic priest. So the idea that all Catholic priests are pedo is actually really an unfair statistic, and it's spread by hate groups who hate Catholics, when realistically your local public school has double the rate that a Catholic church does. So hating on a Catholic church is actually a psyop against Catholics spread by all those other groups. Why follow religion at all? Why hate someone because they believe something you don't? Okay, well that's Catholics don't hate other people because we don't follow the religion. The idea that you hate them because they follow a different religion is, again, that is an incorrect assumption. That's not how religion functions. We follow religion because it's the truth, right? The truth that Jesus Christ has given us. So we don't choose to follow something just because we like it or aligns with our ideals. We follow it because it is the truth. The truth remains the truth regardless of how people feel it, how many people follow it, or anything like that, right? The truth is a matter of fact. The truth will always be the truth. So we are Catholic because Catholicism is the truth, not because we want to be Catholic, not because we want to be better than other people, not because we want to hate on other people, but because that is the truth that exists. Now, there are plenty of Christians out there who do use that as an excuse to hate other people. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but they are incorrect and wrong. The function of Catholicism is not to hate other people. It's not to hate people who aren't Catholic. The function of Catholicism is to worship God in the way that God has given us that he wants to be worshipped. Does that mean everyone else is wrong? Yes. As Pope Francis put it, I absolutely love that Pope Francis had put it, is that there is some aspect of truth and beauty in all religions, but Catholicism is the only one that has the fullness of truth. So while other religions may have aspects of the truth, or they may have things that make them good or beautiful, they do not hold the fullness of truth that Catholicism does. You have to look at it from the eyes of someone who doesn't understand it yet. You can't just tell them the truth. You have to convince them before they fully understand. I am of the camp of you cannot logic someone into Catholicism. As much as we want to be able to, there is no amount of spreading the truth and all that you can give to someone that will logic them into Catholicism. The only way to truly bring them into the church is for them to have that experience with God and that conversion of heart, and that conversion of heart only comes from God. We can help. We can definitely give stories, give testimonials, we can give logic, we can give other things to help people get there, but truly the only way for them to have a good conversion of heart is that starts with God, right? I can't do that, unfortunately. I wish I could, but I cannot. Also been equally, if not more, stories in cases of Protestant community members who've had their churches taking advantage of children. See, I don't even want to break it down as Protestants do it more. I'm saying that exists everywhere, whether it be the Boy Scouts of America, whether it be your local public school, whether it be our politicians. Like the Epstein files show, our politicians are more involved than any church ever has been, right? So like, it's not a case of, oh, we're absolved because other people do it. It's those people are always going to seek out a position of advantage over the people they want to abuse, because that's how they get to abuse those people, is by seeking out that position of advantage. What does the truth matter, though? Really, where does it matter? So it matters because, one, we want to get to heaven, right? Like the whole point of Catholicism is to lead a life that is pleasing to God, and in leading that pleasing life, we hope to be with our Creator forever and evermore in heaven. So that it matters for that, but it also makes a big difference in people who truly follow the tenets of Christianity in life are creating a more full and wonderful life for other people, right? You're feeding the hungry, you're giving water to the thirsty, you're giving medicine to the sick, you're spending time with those in need. Like, it creates a fuller and better life for all other people. All religion does is divide people. I don't see that. I don't see it as dividing other people. I see people who use it as a hammer or politics to divide people, certainly, but again, that's not unique to religion. That happens in politics and so many other things as well, right? Like, people are always going to find a reason to divide themselves and be a part of the other groups and all that. That's just human nature. That has nothing to do with religion. That has everything to do with human nature. And you're sitting spoiling yourself playing video games. So I actually started streaming so that I could preach and talk about the gospel and talk about God and all of that. So I do use video games as a means of reaching people who wouldn't regularly being reached, which is how you ended up here from the World of Warcraft stream, right? So it does work in that function, but that doesn't mean this is all I do. I certainly try and donate my time and my money to the less fortunate. I certainly try and do all those things that God calls us to do. But I also can't do them 24/7. You know, I wish I was good enough to be able to do that. I definitely wish I was pious enough to be able to spend all of my days, all of my time donating and giving. But unfortunately, I am not at that level. Wish I was, but I didn't hear you mention God or anything until chat did. So there's this great quote. I want to say that it's Saint Francis of Assisi, but it might be one of the Benedictine monks. I might be wrong on that, but it's preach the gospel at all times, use words when necessary. Just because I'm not actively speaking about God every moment of the day doesn't mean that I'm not preaching the glory of God, right? Living a devout life, living a life pleasing to God, living as an example to others can be a way to point people towards God. Every action you take, everything you do can be a way that points people towards God. So just because I'm not necessarily always using the words doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not actively engaged in those conversations or that way to uplift and bring people to the ultimate good end. There you are. I knew there was a hunter stealthing right there. I knew there was one. Okay. Oh, they're gonna invulnerable. That's okay. We're gonna steal this. We're gonna steal this. Come on. We're close. Just a few more seconds. Nice. Stolen. I never get the urge to start wars and benefit and profit from both sides. I mean, again, that's not necessarily religion. That the politics definitely are involved in that, but it's not necessarily religion. Pope Leo is out here calling for peace right now, right? Pope Leo is trying to get people to choose peace, but the politicians are resistant to the idea. There's only so much you can do when it's politicians and capitalism trying to get money, right? There's only so much. We can't interrupt this guy, but we can DPS harder. Come on, DPS harder. Down he goes. I want to hear and spend my life with you, not preaching some other wanker. Why don't you live your life? You be better than any old name mentioned in the Bible. Well, the only reason why I am who I am, the only reason why I am as good as I am, is through God. Before I became Catholic, I was a cringy, selfish, angry Satanist. Like, it is through God's love and mercy and his teaching that I have become a much better person who lives a better life that helps people and does good in the world. So, like, I could just live my life, but if I was living my life, I'd be a selfish, angry little person, and that would not be better for you or for the world. All right, let's jump this priest. Okay. We're bursting. Oh, that's not good. We're dying. Oh, we got him. Look at that. Last second, we got him. You done it? You woke up? You changed? Nope. It wasn't me. Yes, I put effort into it. Yes, I put time into that, but it was all thanks to God. All thanks to God. Okay, Dex, you're finally here. What was up with your message, Dex? Why was the last thing you said to me so angry when I posted that airsoft rifle? What was with that reaction? I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know what caused such a volatile, angry reaction from Dex. Minds are curious. Alright, we're up against this hunter once again. This hunter. Blind him. Okay. Oh, he's healing. Got him. And got him. Perfect. Smoked him like a fish. We're still going to lose, but hey, we smoked him. You may thank God you didn't spawn in India because you would be preaching some elephant in Hindu with no toilet paper. I mean, I think America would be better off if we had no toilet paper. We need to switch to bidets. We was just talking to Dex about this. I think America would be definitely better off if we switched to no toilet paper and went to bidet. But I mean, there's missionaries all over the world, so there's no. That's not necessarily true. We have no idea what my life would be like. But then we can also talk about how God knows me, God knows my heart, and God put me in the perfect position. And the perfect position for me to live a life that was good and pleasing towards Him was to be born where I am at. So if I was born in India, would things be different? Maybe. I don't know. But this is the path that God has put me on. This is the path that God said, this is a life you need to live. This is where you need to be. And certainly thankful for that, because I have seen lots of videos of India. I don't think I would enjoy traveling to India, to be honest. But there was a time when I was looking at different religions and trying to figure out where and what I wanted to be and where and what I wanted to do. I did look at the Sikh religion, the Sikhs or the Sikhs, and I got to say that they the Sikhs have a lot of really great ideals. I do have a lot of respect for what they bring to the table and what they try and do. So like, that's again going back to Pope Francis, who said that there is beauty in all religions. Like the Sikhs have some really great thoughts and ideas, and I really respect that about them. Let's grab a cape with critical strike. The Christian missionaries are getting slaughtered. God help them. That has been an ongoing problem, unfortunately. Especially, I think Nigeria is going through a lot of problems with that right now, unfortunately. But you know, some of those people are called to be missionaries, right? They're called to put themselves in dangers, called to put their lives on the line and be martyrs for the faith. Like you gotta have a great deal of respect for people who are willing to put themselves in literal mortal danger to spread the love of Christ to others. Like what a great sacrifice.
With perseverance.
I would love a couple times the Knights of Columbus go into different like war-torn areas and they deliver aid to those in need, and I would love to follow along with them, driving into those war-torn areas and document it. As a photographer, I would love to take some photos of it and spread the love of Christ through that art. But I don't think I could ever convince Emmy that it would be a good idea for me to get in the back of a truck and then drive into Iran or Iraq and spread the gospel. Like I'm pretty sure I would never convince her that that's a good idea. Professional airsoft is a left-wing myth. There was a competition where you could win $100 not too long ago. Then that's all it takes to be a professional, right? Like the second I make $1 off of airsoft, I am technically a professional airsofter. I just got to make that dollar. You know, let's say the first dollar is the hardest, right? Airsoft is so cool. I agree. I have absolutely loved airsofting, and what I'm most surprised about, honestly, to bring it back to God again, There are so many Catholic and Christian airsofters in my area. Like, there's even a team called the Disciples who have a non-denominational pastor who plays on their team. Like, how cool is that? I would love to get one of our priests out there, but I'm pretty sure most of our priests are too old to be airsofting. But one of our local fields was blessed by a priest, and they have like hidden Saint Michael the Archangel and a hidden statue of Blessed Virgin Mary on their field. So like, I am shocked how many Catholic airsofters are in my area, and it is wonderful. You'll love to see it. That is not the next video, but the next video after that is going to be on Catholicism and airsofting. I think that's going to be my next big project after Smoke and Mirrors is completed. Got a quest for me, a call to battle. I'll take that conquest. Yes, please. Nice. Very nice. And I think we have a full set of... No, we're still missing, so we're missing gloves and rings. We need gloves and rings. It's like silver and gold. Speaking of silver and gold, there are 18 Fridays left until Christmas. 18 Fridays left, so make sure if you are not already that you are prepped, because Christmas is coming, and you soon will hear my wassailing and Christmas carols. We're almost there. So excited. Christmas is my favorite time of year, and I'm hoping that with us signing our loan documents today to consolidate our housing debt from our roof and our sewer pipeline and all that, I'm hoping that we'll have enough money left over that we can sponsor a family again this year, because I really liked last year buying all those things for the kids who couldn't have Christmas and making sure they had a Christmas. So I'm gonna talk to Emmy once we have all of our finances settled. I know we're trying to save for Italy, but seeing if we can like set aside $1,000 to sponsor a less fortunate family and make sure that they have a good Christmas. So I'm gonna have a baby at Christmas this year. No, you're having the baby in 1 week, right? We already said this. We already said it was gonna come early. So years go by faster the older I get, and it never stops. KFC. It never stops. I turned 35 this year, and this year has gone by the fastest it's ever gone. So, but I wanna buy a Christmas tree for a family. I wanna buy a Christmas ham for a family. I wanna give Christmas to all the less fortunate this year. You know, just throwing it out there, Bubble. Not to, every baby is a blessing. That you could have your baby in a week, and you could for Christmas give your kiddos a little sister, right? Like, third one could already be on the way by Christmas time. A great man once said, "The years start coming and they don't stop coming." I love Nickelback. Plus 5 DKP. Dex is on it right. I don't know if we're going to be able to take this guy. That paladin has all of his stuff up. So maybe if we wait it out for a second here, we can sneak it in. We're going to give him a false sense of security, like that no one's coming for this. Come on, buddy. Dex.
Language.
All right. Okay, there's a respawn. We're gonna let those guys go. Yep. Yep. No, just keep walking. Just keep walking.
I am out of range.
Okay. No. No. The long stun. They have 2 healer. That was almost perfect. We almost bodied that guy in 1 cooldown. Now they're all here. We're gonna run away. Okay, we're gonna go over to this one since that's well guarded. We got them thinking we're gonna be over there, and we're gonna run over here. Also, that would have helped if I would have. Oh, well, that was awful. We need our trinkets. Dex out here using the naughty language. Bubble, can you time out Dex for 30 seconds for saying a no word? I'm pretty sure you can't time him out because he's technically a mod, but I'm curious now if it'll let you time him out. Have a good one, Bubble. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Oh, they had an extra. I didn't know there was another defense there. I would have had that, but there was a second dude invisible there. Also, I tried the sugar-free protein Eggo waffles. This is not a sponsored ad, and it has nothing to do with the fact that my name is Waffles, but the zero sugar protein waffles by Eggo. Let me tell you, those are by far some of the best waffles I've ever had in my life. Packed with protein, no sugar. Again, not an ad. You should get them. You should buy the protein waffles and enjoy a delicious protein-packed breakfast, because holy cow, are those protein waffles delicious. Yeah. Cash me outside. How about that, Rogue? We just smoked that guy. So that is my new autism breakfast for the next like 3 weeks. Every morning I'm going to start my morning with waffles. You get some protein waffles, you get some sugar-free syrup, and some tofu chunks, and you can have what I assume Dex will call the worst version of chicken and waffles ever made. With some tofu nuggets that are shaped like chicken nuggets, with some syrup, and some protein waffles. You know what else has protein? Bacon, sausage, and eggs? Yeah, but Dex, meat is murder, if you didn't know. So, like, have you considered that? Plus, I'm pretty sure a bunch of eggs just got recalled. Didn't like 100 million eggs get recalled for salmonella concerns? So, like, this guy is still here. This darn druid keeps ruining all my fun. I'm pretty sure you can't eat eggs right now because of this. You can't. Sourdough was recalled for having metal in it. Eggs were recalled for salmonella. Blueberries were recalled for salmonella. Jalapenos were recalled for salmonella. So I keep saying I'm going to lock in, but I never last 2 days. At this rate, I'm going to end up homeless. The rage bait's immaculate. What kind of locking in? Like locking in on work, or locking in on what kind of locking in are we talking about here? You're not getting away from me, mage. You are mine. Okay. Now paladin. Yes. Ignore the rogue. Let me just wail on you for a little bit here. Yep. Yeah. Okay, he popped his cooldowns. Let's swap to healer. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. Healer's running. Stun him. Back over here. Oh, they swapped to me. That's not good. We're going to vanish. Come out again. I'm back. Interrupt. They're immune. We're gonna die. We did. Generally, getting in shape, studying hard, being a better person in general. So, I too had to do that. That is all things. I highly recommend. Don't do it all at once. If you're trying to study more and work out and be a better person and pray more and do all those things, you're gonna fail. Like, this is one of those things that, like, when you want to start to learn to juggle, right? You don't just start juggling a million balls at once. You start with one ball and then you work your way up to 2 balls and then 3 balls, right? So don't do it all at once. That's my advice to you. Pick one thing and start there and then go from there. So what's the one thing that matters the most to you right now? Do you want to work out? Do you want to be a better person? Do you want to dedicate more to your studies? Choose one of those things that you want to do. If you try and do it all, you're going to fail at it. So pick one and stick with that one thing. It takes between 15 and 30 days to build a habit. So pick one of those things and just do that one thing. Stick to it for 15 days. Once you've done that, then you can add on the next thing. If you do it all at once, you're going to fail. So like if you want to say, I want to get in shape. Okay. Then today, you're going to do an extra 30-minute walk or an extra 30-minute calisthenics. And you lock that in for 2 or 3 weeks. And then once you've done that, you're like, okay, I'm sticking with this. I've got this. Then you add in, okay, now I'm going to do a rosary with that workout and be a better person. And boom, you building on top of that. And you keep building up to that point. But if you do it all at once, it's never going to happen. As someone who has failed many, many times at all of those things, I feel like an expert in this area to be able to say, take it slow, take it easy, and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and do it again, right? Like all the time people talk about, like, with prayer and God, they talk about, oh, I failed God, I've sinned again. Okay, yeah, that sucks. Get up and try again. That's why God has given us infinite forgiveness, right? You dust yourself off, you get up, and you do it again. And you know what? You're probably going to fail again. So you know what you do? You get up, and you do it again. And you keep doing it again until you die. And that's how you succeed. That's how you find success. That's how you truly find success in this world, is you just never stop giving up, never fear failing until you're dead. And then it doesn't matter anymore. I'm surprisingly dumb for how good my grades are. Look, grades have nothing to do. Grades have nothing to do with intelligence. I think we can all admit that, right? Grades are how well can you parrot back this assignment at the teacher in the way that they want to hear it. That's all a grade is. A grade is not a reflection of who you are. A grade is not a reflection of how good of a person you are. A grade is simply a reflection of the teacher said XYZ. Could I regurgitate that at them in a manner that was acceptable? Grades start to matter, maybe be a reflection of intelligence, like if you're in an engineering program at MIT, maybe then grades will start to matter. But before then... And I don't want to be one of those people like, oh, Waffle says high school doesn't matter, but high school doesn't matter, you know? Like...
catalog every newcomer. I want to know secrets.
I say the same thing about my bachelor's degree. My bachelor's degree I got in 4 to 6 months. That thing is absolutely worthless. It is not a reflection of my level of intelligence or anything else. It was just a matter of, did I show up for class every day and did I poop out the right answers on demand? Yes, I did. So I got my fancy piece of paper that says Waffles is a Bachelor of Business. That's my mindset during exams. Sometimes something has multiple answers. I don't know which one they really want. I hate the trick questions. I hate the exams that, like, clearly they're like, haha, we're going to put this answer here to trip you up because of this logic or this thing, you know? I hate that. I much preferred writing down answers where it's like an open-ended, where at least if I get the answer wrong, it's through my own fault because I didn't know the answer, right? But like the trick questions, I too despise trick questions. I'm right there with you. Alright, we bought some jewelry. Where did our jewelry go? Okay, equip that. Equip that. And equip that. Now I think we have a full set. No, we still need... We're missing our gloves. Okay. Dex, you disappeared. What's up with that? Also, I'm going to have maybe, if everything goes well, we are going to have a surprise stream on Sunday at Smoke and Mirrors. I'm going to try and set up my phone. This right here is the little protector that I'm going to be putting over my phone camera so that I can live stream an airsoft match. So if everything goes well, we are going to be live streaming some most excellent airsofting. So let's end with our prayer as always. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, thank you for this blessed day, and thank you for all that you do for us. Today we continue to pray for the victims of war, those who are lacking in food, water, shelter, medicine, oil, electricity, whatever thing they are lacking. Lord, help to provide for them. Lord, we pray for us sinners, those who have done wrong, those of us who have done wrong intentionally. Lord, forgive us and help us to come back to you. We pray for the students as back to school starts again, as kids are getting ready to go back to class. Lord, help this to make a fruitful and learning-filled year for them. Help them, especially the college students, to focus on a good path of education that will bring them closer to you. And finally, as always, we pray for the souls in purgatory, the souls who have been forgotten, the souls who have no one left to pray for them. Lord, help them. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Alright everyone, that is it for me. As I said, if everything goes well, we will be streaming again on Sunday, so be prepared for a special Sunday stream. As always, it was a pleasure to hang out with you all and talk with you all. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for making this a good morning. Go and have a blessed day, everyone, and we will see you again either on Sunday or Monday. Have a blessed day.